was a daughter of President Lyndon B. Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. As was mentioned, the public is being allowed inside the St. Margaret's Church now to pay their respects to the former First Lady. KPSP Local 2 mobile journalist Arti Nehru had a thrill. She got to go inside the church for a few minutes just a short time ago to experience what that must be like. What can you tell us, Arti?
Chris, it was a very moving experience for us as well as those attending. Buses have been shuttling people back and forth from the Indian Wells Tennis Gardens to the church for the last hour and a half, and we were in there just a few minutes ago, and the first thing that struck me was that the people paying their final respects to the former First Lady were people of all ages. Some folks who were adults when President Ford was in office and they remember her contributions. Others, young children learning about her for the first time. Now, as some of the people walked out, I was able to speak to a few of them to ask them, what brought them here. Some were visiting from different parts. They weren't even from the Coachella Valley, some from Northern California, others out of state. And one woman told me that she came out here because her husband was a Holocaust survivor and he was displaced and eventually in Michigan, and President Ford, who was a congressman at that time, helped him indirectly get his first job. I spoke to some young girls who were telling me that they were learning about Betty Ford for the first time and that this was the best history lesson they could get, just being able to actually go inside, be near her casket. So a lot of different reactions from folks, but they all agree, this has been a moving experience for all those going inside. We saw quite a few folks, in tears and kneeling down and praying by her casket. Chris, of course, we're going to be here until probably about midnight tonight, going in again, and we'll have more for you at 11 o'clock this evening. For now, live in Palm Desert, Arti Nehru, back to you, Chris.
Bring up a great point. Young ladies, and you are one of them, really have to know that Betty Ford, who of course has been around a long, long time, but your life, I think it's fair to say, the life of young women in this country has been impacted and made much better by the work of that lady right there. I'll bet you agree.
Of course, Chris. This is a woman who raised awareness, who spoke about things that I'm hearing people didn't talk about back then,
whether it was
breast cancer. Exactly, and that's what I was getting from the younger girls here. They were telling me that they feel it's her contributions that they're living in the type of world society that they are now, where they can openly talk about problems like painkiller abuse, drug abuse, or alcohol abuse.
Very well put. Thank you very much, Arti Nehru, live outside St. Margaret's Church for us in Palm Desert. Again, the public can get on a bus at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden and get over to the church.